Hi, just once. My name is Emilia Lidenby, aka Amy Lidi. Thank you so much for tuning in. May the Almighty God bless you. It's just once you've got to maintain some boundaries. You've got to set boundaries. Boundaries is very, very important in your life. It is very, very important for you to say no and you mean no. You've got to say yes and you mean yes. Compromising is not you. You can't compromise on something that you know that is not going to serve your highest good. So you've got to try as much as you try your best to set boundaries and maintain those boundaries. Set boundaries and maintain those boundaries. If not, they're going to mess up with you. If you allow your boundaries loose, people are going to come into your life to mess your career, to mess up with your peace, to destroy some things in your life. You can't afford to have people come into your life and to detect for you and trying to have their ways. Sometimes when people get too familiar with you, they try to detect how you ought to run things in your life. And you're not someone that you have to that is it gets easier for you to accept people into your life and just allow them to detect, because you're working energies are just there to distract you. People are just there to distract you. They don't really know your direction in life. They don't even know what you've been called to do. They don't even know your purpose. They don't even know how connected you are with God. They don't even know your thinking. The way you think is just different. The way you think is different. The way you see the world is different. The manner in which you understand things is different. And if you don't set boundaries to protect your sanity, you're going to be kicked off track. You're going to miss your purpose. You're going to miss your direction and start following everyone else's direction. You are a multitasker. Choosing one, you are a multitasker. You do different things at different times. You are so adaptable. You're adaptable, and because of your adaptability, sometimes you get to want to try to juggle situations, to be there for everybody, to focus on every situation, and just trying to you spread yourself thin. You focus on different situations. No, you can't do that right now. You can't do that right now. To keep your purpose, your peace intact, you've got to set boundaries. You've got to set boundaries. This is a time for you to set boundaries as a chosen one, so that you don't get to be frustrated by people who do not understand where you are coming from or where you are headed towards. Set boundaries. Most of you have missed your purposes. You've deviated from your direction because someone came in, and because they were so influential, because they thought that they knew more than you had to follow them. You bought into their ideas, you bought into what they were trying to reveal to show you, and at one point you got lost in the midst of everything. If you're missing this moment, if you've gotten yourself lost in so many things, it's time for you to find yourself. Come back into your space. I'm talking to those of you that sometimes you don't know who you are. It's like you're still trying to figure out who you are. You're still doubting yourself. That's because you've been living someone else's life. You've been going towards someone else's direction. You've been buying into someone else's ideas, visions, and you forgot your own. Come back to yourself. Come back. As I'm talking to this moment, someone is waking up to who they are and coming back to themselves and maintaining and trying to create some boundaries. You've got a lot that you have to be focusing on. You've got just so much that God has given to you. And if you don't protect yourself by setting these boundaries, you're going to be kicked out of what you're supposed to be focusing on. You're going to be so confused and being so frustrated. You're not meant to follow some other people's direction. That's what the enemy loves sometimes. They just bring situations towards you to overwhelm you, and they bring people towards you that you might be thinking that they know more than you do. And you start following them, you start trying to reason with them. Before you realize it, you are losing it. Before you realize it, you're out of your own yourself, your purpose. Please don't do that. Do not. You are a leader. You are born to be that way, sure. You're born to be that beacon of light. You're born to be someone that people need to, look at you and try to grasp what you've got, not you trying to grab what they've got. You have to be very sensitive. This is what was happening in my life before. I will, because naturally I'm a multitasker. I love to do different things at different times. I can just do all things because I believe that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And sometimes I'll have great people coming my way and try to tell me, Lady, do this and do that. I'll just focus on doing those things, and at the before I realize it, I'll be losing myself. I'm like, no, I can't. I don't see myself functioning here. Then I'll start finding my way back, and finding your way back is not really like that easy. Finding your way right back to where you're supposed to be at, it's never easy because you've got to navigate through some challenges before you finally find your way right back. It's easier for you to get out of your purpose. It's easier for you to forget about yourself, but it is hard for you to recognize your purpose, and it is hard for you to come back into your purpose. So why don't you to set boundaries and preserve what you've got going? Even though you might not see it like expanding, be there, stick around with that, and before you realize it, you're going to be like, just keep moving and keep progressing and going forward. Your purpose is very, very important, beloved. Before, I could not stick to one thing. I was the jack of all trades, the master of none. And God told me, listen, you can't continue going there and going there and going there, doing this and doing that. No, come back to yourself. You've got a purpose, and that purpose you must focus on it. And I've learned over time that I've got to persevere in my purpose. I've got to enjoy my purpose. Sometimes even it doesn't even feel exciting. I've got to, continue expanding my purpose. I've got to continue just sticking my purpose, even though it might not be obvious to other people. People not ever might like it or appreciate it, but I should be there because that's what brings fulfillment in your spirit, in your soul, most especially in your soul. Okay, so remain with your purpose, set boundaries to protect your space.